Hi everyone, and welcome to my Facebook Live. I'm Angela Palmer from Stamp with Angela, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you today. I hope this video, this live, gives you lots of ideas and inspiration to help you with your paper crafting and stamping, and it gives you some new ideas and inspiration. So thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to be sharing a very cool product called the Gilded Leafing. So it's like some kind of gold flakes. So if you've never used this before, I hope you enjoy seeing what it's like and how to use it, and also some cards and creations. So I'm going to be using the Merriest Trees set today, and I'll use the Gilded Leafing on that, and then I'll show you some other creations using this set as well, because I've had lots of fun with that. So if you're thinking, what is this Gilded Leafing? I can tell you a little bit about it. It's like some kind of gold flakes. So it's a great way to add a little bit of extra sort of embellishment and sparkle to your project. And there are different ways that you can add it on your project. And I'll just show you one of those techniques today. So thank you for joining me, whether you're joining me live on my Facebook Live, watching the video later, or even possibly watching this on YouTube. I appreciate you being here. If you are watching this on YouTube, please, if you enjoy the video, please like it, subscribe to my channel so you'll be kept up to date with other videos, and feel free to share my videos with others as well, of those that you think may be interested. Today I'm going to be sharing this cool product called the Gilded Leafing, and I'll show you a Christmas card project using it, but it can be used in lots of different ways. So I hope you learn something new, you're inspired, and yeah, it helps you with your crafting, stamping, and card making too. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. You can comment as we go along. I'll do my best to answer as we go, or perhaps you're commenting later. I will come back and check and answer questions later on too. All right, so thanks for joining me. Let's get started, and we'll do some stamping and crafting and paper crafting together. This is the card we're going to make today. So it uses the Merriest Trees. So this is the stamp set, and then there's a die set that coordinates with this as well. So it cuts out the trees and things. Here is the biggest one here. You can stamp and even cut smaller trees. So you can stamp it and then just cut out those, and it makes a 4-part tree, or cut out another one and it's smaller again, it's only 3 parts. So it's quite a versatile set, and there's other embellishments and things and stars that you can add, presents and all that kind of thing that you can add to it as well. So I've kept it fairly simple. I have used this set before, and I've gone for more traditional colors like the what do we call it, the real reds and greens and things, but this is for something quite different. Blue's my favorite color, so I thought I'll do something different and go with the blue. So my first card was actually green and red, and I was going to share that one, and then I thought, let's try something different, and I decided let's go with this one. So I'll show you others afterwards as well. So the main focus is this Gilded Leafing. So I'll show you what it is and then how to use it. So it comes in a pot, and or a little jar like this. Okay, now it is quite light, and you do have to be careful with it because it will sort of, go everywhere if you're not careful. But it's, yeah, very cool stuff. So today I'm going to use it with some Versamark and heat and stick. Okay, but there are other ways of using it as well. So basically you need some form of adhesive or some way of sticking it to your project. So heat and stick is kind of like an embossing powder, but when you heat it, it becomes sticky, and therefore the flakes will adhere to it. So that's how that works. But there are other things that you can use as well. So what I'm going to do is we will stamp our tree, and then we will use the heat and stick and the flakes. So I'll show you how that will work. So I'm going to get a scrap piece of card and just check position wise that we're not going to Whoops, I didn't mean to quite do that yet. All right, so I'm using the stamper artist just because it's already in position and things. Just going to put that behind so it keeps it level. Now the colour, do you know what colour I've used? I have used Starry Sky. So let's ink that up. Now it is quite a big stamp, so you want a fairly even covering. Can you see that? And then I'm going to bring that over and stamp it. Press quite firmly. There we go. Very nice. Okay, so that's my background. Then I'm going to go with my Versamark and, what do we call it? Heat and stick. So I'm just going to wipe this over so I kind of get it where I want it to go. And like any other, you know, stamps when you're embossing, so I'm gonna, can you see that kind of? So I'm going to put some Versamark on. So I've already lined these up before, so this is kind of the accent to the tree, I guess. So press that quite firmly. Now you need to work fairly quickly after this while the Versamark is still wet, and I'm going to sprinkle heat and stick. So it looks like sort of white or clear embossing powder. I'm going to find a scrap piece of paper and let's just make sure it goes in that corner down here too. Give it a little tap tap. All right, so let me put this away and put the lid on so we don't spill it everywhere. Put that back in. And this is what it looks like. So can you see that? So you'd think it might be a white or clear embossing powder. So I'm going to use my heat tool and heat it up. Excuse the noise. All right, so you'll see it kind of goes clear. And if you look closely, which we'll do afterwards, it looks a little bit shiny. So it kind of looks like clear embossing powder, but it will be sticky. So that was pretty quick. Let's see if I can do a, can you see? Don't know if you can see in the video, but it is slightly shiny in those bits. So it is sticky to touch. Right, I'll move this out of the way. I'll clean that later. Let's put that here. Right, so this is the next bit, which can get a little bit messy, but just be careful. I've got a tray here that I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to very gently open this up. Some pieces are quite big, some are quite little. Sprinkle, see that is massive. And there's already actually quite a lot in the tray. Okay, and then basically I am going to just brush it over, and it's going to stick where the heat and stick was. So, well, she hopes. There we go. Okay, can you see? So where we had the heat and stick, it is now sticking to it. All right, so my suggestion, because it's quite light, don't sneeze, otherwise it's going to go everywhere. So you're basically removing any of the excess, and it's just sticking where it was sticky. So if you've got a cover or something, put that on, put it out the way. Doesn't that look cool? So I don't know how well you can see that, but that is very cool. So what I'm next going to do is I'm going to cut it out. So you might say, well, why don't I just gold emboss it? And you could. And I'll show you a comparison, but they do look different. And also, one of the ways is using Versamark and heat and stick, but there are other ways you can apply it, the gold flakes, the gilded leafing, that you can't do with embossing powder. So there's more options with this. So if I put these, I'll put them down here. I don't know if I can zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in. Can you see the difference? The colouring is actually quite different. So this one is sort of darker and it's more smoother. This is gold, but this is more of a lighter gold, and it's got more texture to it. So there is, you know, a difference. So there you go, if you can see the two. So what we're working with is the gilded leafing. So it's lots of fun. So hi and welcome to those that are joining me today. Welcome to Tanya, Lynette, Natalie, who was here earlier. Anyone else? Hi, welcome. It's good to see you. We are using the gilded leafing at the moment to add accent to our tree. All right, so the next step will be cutting this out. So I showed you before that there was a die that fits this. So you could fussy cut, but let's use the die. So line it up. I'm going to use a bit of repositioning tape to hold it in place, and it does. Oh, I'm going to say it fits through this, but I have a funny feeling that my paper is, oh no, it's just going to fit. Forgot to check the width of my paper. All right, so it's only just going to fit. Let me put my plates on. So the good thing about this little one is it's easy, portable, and great for the table here. Okay, so I've lined it up, put it on, cut it out. There we go. And I'll show you what it looks like. Isn't that cool? Now, while I'm here and I've got this machine up, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little tree stump there, which is that, and there is a die that goes with it. So let's just stamp that, and we can cut it out while our machine is there. So we're just going to use the corner. I'm going to use a darkish brown color. Let's use some early espresso. And that's all right. I was going to say it smudged a little bit, but the top will be hidden anyway. All right, so we're going to put that, line it up like so. Whoops, that's moved. Line it up before we stick it down. There we go. And put that through as well. What I'm going to do is actually, we just need a narrow piece. So that's our tree. But do you like the effect of the gilded leafing? Have you tried it before? Have you seen it before? It's something that is in the annual catalogue. But it's very cool. You can add accents and things to your project. All right, there we go. The other thing we need to prepare is our sentiment. Now, I deliberated on this for quite a while, trying to work out what to do. And did I want to add some ribbon and things? In the end, I kept it quite simple. And I did use gold embossing powder for this because it is quite a detailed kind of sentiment. So I'm going to put my embossing buddy over that. I'm going to use my Versamark again and my sentiment. Now, a suggestion with these, when you put them on your block, when I first did one, it was slightly bent. You could quite easily put them on and bend them slightly, and then your words are wonky. So the best thing to do would be to put it down, because then it will sort of naturally be nice and straight, or even on a line of your grid paper. Then pick it up. Then you know it's nice and straight. All right, so let's stamp this. And we will use gold embossing powder this time, because like I said, it's quite intricate. Don't want to brush off the Versamark. Oops, we didn't quite get all the words. There we go, a little flick to get any little excess off, and put it all back into here. All right, lid on before we spill it. Okay. And then we're going to heat that up as well. I love the way with the embossing how it melts and starts to shine, and then you know that you have heated it enough. So you watch this end go first. Here we go, starting to go shiny. Can you see the difference? So if you can see, the left side has melted, but the right hasn't. So definitely a difference there. Okay, we nearly hadn't quite done all the ends, so make sure you do each end, because if you haven't done it all, you'll knock it, and then it will smudge and not look good. Just trying to last bit of that in, I think. Okay, now putting the card together. So you'll see that with this one, I have gone for a bit of texture in the background. This seems to be my go-to embossing folder at the moment. So it's this one here, which is the exposed brick embossing folder. So obviously I need to use the big machine for this, and I thought I had prepared one earlier, but then I've just done a quick video and I'm not sure if I've got one right here ready to use. So let me grab my big machine and we will quickly emboss one too. Give me a second, sorry. Just looking to see, there's always something. Okay, here is my big machine. All right, so we're going to put this in here, like so. We just need the bottom plate and then the specialty plate for 3D embossing folders, and put that through. There we go. Love the texture that this one creates. Okay, then we're going to put it together. So I've got my card base here, and guess what? And now I find my pre-cut one inside. Of course, typical. Okay, so I've used Starry Sky. I have used Boho Blue, and then just a very narrow edge, so it gives it a nice little border. So this was 14 centimeters by 9.8, yes. And then this was 3 millimeters less, so it was 9.5 by 13.7 or something like that. I hope that's right. I'll have to check my measurements. Okay, let's glue it together. But I wanted this slightly larger border around the outside where you could see the Starry Sky, and just a little border around this. Okay, so we're not putting any ribbon or anything on, so we can put it straight down. So just a little hint of the Boho Blue. So when I've adhered this, I have used dimensionals, and the same with my tree trunk and also my sentiment. So let's get some dimensionals and put those on. Oh yeah, and I've also cut a little star, which is from the set as well. All right, let's get my sentiment. And I haven't done anything fussy at the ends, I've just cut it, but you could do. And now the question is, where did I put my little trunk? That's the bit that was die cut out, but where is the trunk? It's so small. Probably when I moved the die cutting machine, I probably moved it with it. Okie dokie. We might have to quickly do another one. What I'll do is we'll do the star at the same time. So we'll bring out back our mini machine this time. So I'm cutting another one of those. We'll try and keep it safe this time. So we'll do that, and we'll cut the star. So that also is in the set. Okay. So we'll bring up our little mini machine and our plates. I need the white one. And I need the star. So I've got a little piece of gold, and then I need the star die from the set as well. So we'll cut one of those, and I only just had it, so where? Oh, it's in the machine. Silly me. I'm looking for something that's already there. Okay, I'm going to put that one down because that's sort of my plate that's had lots of things go on it before, and we're going to do a star. Whoops. Bumping things here. All right. So if you are using the gilded flakes and things, you could decide what you want to do on a few cards and, you know, have it all ready and then do all the gold flakes and things at one time rather than, you know, stopping and starting. But I really like the way it gives the gold and the texture to it. All right. So there is our trunk and there is our star. Okay, now they are very little dies, so we need to keep them safe. Okay, so let's put our card together. A little tip, I'm not sure if you've done this before, but you should take your pick tool to lift off the back of the dimensional thingies rather than your fingernails. It's quite cool, so we're going to put that down. I need to put dimensional on the back of that. It's probably upside down because I did put a dimensional on the back. Okay, so we're going to tuck that under like so. We need a little dimensional on the back of our star as well. But we don't want it to kind of show through, which it is, so we're just going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, put our star on top of our tree. Awesome. And then to finish it off, we'll put our sentiment there. Now you could shape the edges or do something else if you wanted to, but we should do our trick again, shouldn't we? I think because the background is textured and then this is not, it sort of adds a bit of variety to it, which is quite nice. So then we can add some bling. So I've got these, and what are they called? They're pastel adhesive backed sequins. So they're not gold, I don't think, but that's okay. This is what we're going to use. They kind of pick up that sort of gold colouring. So 3 is good. 1, 2, and they've got adhesive on the back, which makes life nice and easy. All right, then to finish it off, the inside. So is this one finished off? Yes. So that's another stamp from this particular set. We wish you a Merry Christmas, which you could stamp in the middle of the tree. Not on this one, but you could die cut a tree and stamp it. So we need to find our pieces to go inside the card. And that one needs trimming. Is that the right size? No, they both need trimming a little bit. So I'll get out my trimmer and trim it just a little bit. Love my trimmer. One of my favourite tools. I'm not quite sure if I've done enough. Might have to do a fraction more. Oh yeah, that's tiny bit. So I think I said 3.7 and I think I did 3.8. So that's tiny bit off. There we go. Now my recommendation is stamp first, because if you stuff it up, you've got a chance to turn it over and do it on the other side. So let's go with that. So let's find our sentiment. Now remember, once I've finished, I've got some other examples to show you as well. So hang around. There we go. That looks nice. I'm going to close my ink pad so that I don't get ink in the wrong places. Like drop my card in or something terrible like that. We don't want that at all. So it's just a slight border. So I like to do kind of what I've done on the front, on the inside, to help it all tie nicely together. So what do you like to do? Do you like to do traditional colours for Christmas cards, or do you like reds and greens, or do you like to do something different like blues? So there we go. Ta-da! So here is our card using these gilded leafing. So it's like the gold flakes, and you just need something sticky to help it adhere. And we've used Versamark, not the gold, we haven't. Versamark with the heat and stick. So if you're interested in trying this, we've got it's my product spotlight offer for this month. So this month I am offering a special tutorial So if you purchase the Gilded Leafing, you will get sent emailed 3 project ideas using it. Now, sorry, this is my printer, and would you believe it's meant to be kind of blue around there, but the colouring on my printer is a little bit strange. So 3 different ways that you can use the Gilded Leafing, just to give you ideas. So this is brought to you by the Crafting Across the Borders team. So back in September, when the new catalogue launched, we did a catalogue launched and shared some things with you. So as a group, we're putting together some projects and things to share them with you. So if you purchase this, then through me, then you'll get this tutorial free as well. So the Gilded Leafing, I believe, is $19. So it's quite reasonable. There's lots in here. It will last for ages. So just make sure that you, when you're not using it, put a lid on your container. I would recommend, if you've got Versamark, that's great. You may want to get some heat and stick to go with it as well. And that's one way that you can use it. And you'll see in the tutorials other ways of using it as well. So this offer is for November. And the other thing happening, today's the last day, is a seasonal sale. So you can get 10% off ribbon, 15% off ink, 20% off cardstock and paper. That's in the annual catalogue. Okay, so you might want to stock up on some things here, grab some Gilded Leafing as well, and that will be, a good bargain. So you can order through me on my online store, or you can contact me and I'll help place your order. All right, so let me show you some other cards using the Merriest Trees stamp set and dies. So the Merriest Trees, just to remind you, is that, and the dies are these. So very good. I quite like the more traditional sort of, Christmas tree images and things. So this is what I made first today. This is the one I was going to teach you with the more traditional colours, but then I opted for the blue one. So there is one subtle difference between these 2 cards, and it may be hard to see on the camera. I'm looking through the camera and it's hard to see. But one of the differences is this one here, the background is white. But this one here, it is very vanilla. So it's a little bit more subtle. So I don't know if you can see that difference. Let me just kind of zoom in a little bit, see if you can see the difference. I don't know. Can you see the white and the very vanilla? Do you have a preference? That's more crisper. That's a bit, more subtle, I guess. So which do you prefer? So that has got the Gilded Leafing on the tree. Here's one I've made before, very similar with the background colours and things. But this is stamping. So I've got the granny apple green, these are all granny apple green, and then I've shaded spruce where these have got the gold flakes, and then I've added from the dies these kind of tinsel things. So you can cut out in one piece the different things and then put them on. I put adhesive sheets behind. It makes it so much easier to adhere. That one I stamped the star, but here I've used the gold foil paper. And yeah, this one I've done some of the presents as well. So you can see there's some presents in the set. There are some dies, but in the end, because of the bow, I did actually sort of fussy cut that because I made it part of one. So that's some ideas there. And then another card, very similar, but no die cutting at all, just stamping. This one, as you can see, it's a bit smaller. It's a note card. It's what we did at Coffee and Cards. So it's stamping. We cut the presents, then we add a bit of red sparkle rather than add other embellishments and things. So these were around. You can also use red blend on your rhinestones to colour them to make them red as well. And then because I didn't want to do any die cutting, we've got this nice little star trinket at the top as well. Now for that one, we coloured our own trunk because I had forgotten about the stamp that you can stamp for the tree trunk. All right. So yeah, and the background for this is a embossing folder. And this is kind of a Christmassy one that you can use as well. Don't know how well you can kind of see that behind. That's in the mini. All right, so they're your more traditional size cards. For my class last month, I did something a little bit different with this fancy fold card. So I've cut my tree. This time I've added the gold on it, and it's got a belly band, so that slides out, and then this opens up and it sits like that, which is a little bit hard to see on the video. But basically it's like it's got a special name, a floating image, because it looks like this is kind of just floating in the middle. So kind of idea is to stand up like that. So you can see here I've cut a smaller tree and embossed in the front, and this paper is in the mini catalogue as well. So I've done one in that design, and then I love music, so I've done one with the music paper as well. Make sure your notes are up the right way. And then similar. So I didn't have enough of this paper, so I've just gone for the plain gold in the background. So it just folds up inside, and on goes your belly band. Now I haven't had a chance to share on my blog about this yet, but I will at some stage. There is a PDF that I've made available for this, and it's got photos step by step showing you what to do. So if you'd like to learn how to make it and the measurements, that will be available. So get in contact with me and I'll let you know how much and how you can get it. But I must remember to blog about it too, because it's a very cool card. So if you want to make someone like a nice special present, or card rather, something that they can display, then something like this is very cool. For your message, you might just have to kind of write something on the back, just a nice short, letting them know that you're thinking of them at Christmas. So that is some different ways that you can use this particular set. So lots of different cards here, and then obviously today's card, and then using the gilded leafing. So who has tried it before? Anybody? Yeah, I'd love to hear if you've used it, or why not give it a go. So remember, if you purchase it this month, you'll get those free tutorials as well. Well, lots of talking from me today. Just a reminder that the seasonal sale finishes today, Thursday the 16th of November. So this is your last chance to purchase ribbons, 10% off, inks 15% off, cardstock and paper 20% off, ones that are from the annual catalogue. So order online through my online store, or contact me and I can put your order in. I'm doing a group order tonight, 8 p.m. Let me know by then, and it will be sent to me, or if you need it sent to you, then we can do a separate order. I can have that organised and sent to you. All right, so here we are, lots of cool cards, and here is today's card. So I hope this inspires you, gives you some ideas, and just helps you with your card making and paper crafting and stamping. So thanks so much. I appreciate you joining me today. I love what I do. I love being able to share these cards and things with others. I got to go to a demonstrator event in the weekend on stage. It was virtual, which was online, but some of us actually got together at someone's house and watched it online, which is very cool. And then we've got an in-person event in March next year. So if you would like to consider being a demonstrator yourself and come to some of these events, obviously there is a cost involved, but they're lots of fun. It's the connections and people that you get to meet that make it worthwhile. Then please get in contact with me. Now, you don't need to do Facebook Lives and classes and all the kind of things I do if you don't want to. I enjoy doing it, and I have made it, kind of my business too. But you can do it for your own enjoyment, get together with others and place your own orders, or maybe some from friends. If you're interested in knowing more about being a demonstrator, then feel free to get in contact with me and I will answer any questions. And if you decide it's for you, great, you can sign up. If you decide not, no worries. You can just continue to remain a customer, enjoying my Facebook Lives, newsletters, that kind of thing. And finally, to finish up, if you're not on my newsletter, I would encourage you to sign up for that. You'll get weekly emails from me, a big one at the beginning of the month with more information and tutorials and other information during the month. They are exclusive tutorials just for my newsletter, and you will get a special tutorial, trifold card tutorial, when you sign up. So I'd love to you to join my mailing list as well. Go to stampwithangela.co.nz/free, and then you'll be able to sign up for that. All right, thanks for your time today. I hope you enjoyed these cards, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks so much. Bye.